Imagine if you could animate like this. If you had absolute freedom to drastically change your hierarchy at any time. Imagine if your characters could adapt to new situations by blending between your animations, and switching animations when needed. And if you could make interactive creations this easily. Hi, I'm Edgar from Brash Monkey, and we're creating Alchemist, a suite of powerful procedural 2D animation and authoring tools that will work within our upcoming animation software, Spriter 2. We've now finished all of the fundamental building blocks needed to deliver features in these 4 overlapping areas. Procedural workflow. When you animate your character turning their head or blinking or anything, you can tie these actions to control widgets of the type and position of your choosing, with customizable constraints. These widgets are part of the inheritance hierarchy, so they can affect each other in whatever way you define. Once you've set up your animations and controls, you can pose your character more like an action figure or armature. There was a big emphasis during design to make sure that artists feel completely free to animate in whatever way they want. Effortlessly switch from drawing and frame-by-frame animation to deforming and tweening to posing with bones to posing using strokes, and basically never be stuck with rigid limitations to how you animate because of how you set up your character. And mesh deformation is hierarchical, meaning deformation meshes can be children of each other to help you easily achieve natural-looking animation even for very detailed and complex characters. Procedural animation and modeling. Here's a simple humanoid with just a few basic bone animations. The same principles you're about to see can be applied to all Spriter 2 and Alchemist features to add procedural interactivity and awareness to any object, effect, or character you create. Blend between multiple animation states to reflect temporary states like mood, movement speed, physical state, etc., or more permanent states like gender, age, physical condition, and personality. Create characters by choosing values for predefined attributes, which will in turn define your character's animations, choose appropriate accessory objects, and select or crossfade between predefined textures and meshes. You can also define probabilities for all of these properties and generate random characters and NPCs, each with their own visual style and animations appropriate to their unique attributes. Procedural interplay. In addition to the manual controls we discussed earlier, you can use the relationships between objects and entities to automatically control aspects of your characters, animations, and interactions. These are flexible tools you can use in endless ways. Here are a few examples. Creating characters that can correctly step over obstacles. A character reaching for a drawer and blending and switching animations when necessary. Using a couple of keyframes to move your character, and the animations automatically blending between walk and run appropriately for the speed of movement. You'll also have the ability to map deformation grids over your hand-drawn 2D environment, allowing you to define your own stylized perspective rules. Procedural interplay. There will be a variety of trigger types, like random probability triggers, threshold triggers for when a specific value is crossed, area triggers, and several more we'll discuss in the next section. These can trigger any internal Spriter 2 action, like playing or pausing an animation, changing a value or animation state, toggling visibility of an object, changing character maps, or spawning and destroying entities. Here are some examples of some of the stuff you can do when you combine that with the features we've already mentioned. Characters that react to their surroundings, and characters that react naturally to each other. In addition to games, this can be used to more quickly animate a cartoon series, by allowing you to have lively, low-maintenance background characters, or giving you strong baseline behavior and reactions to build upon. And finally, user input and interactivity. Create UIs and gameplay using triggers and states like button presses and mouse clicks. Create interactive experiences like motion comics, gameplay components, and even entire simple games. Use input checks within animations to make time-dependent inputs like special moves and fighting games easy to create and test. And you can preview your creations right in the editor, and then load them into your favorite game engine for direct publishing or as part of a larger game. We don't have time to cover everything in this video, so please check the text of our Kickstarter to learn more about features like this. With the help of backers like you, the original Spriter was kickstarted back in 2012, and since then has been used in countless successful games, indie projects, animations, and mod pipelines. The foundation for Spriter 2 and Alchemist are complete. We need your help to continue the development of Alchemist full-time and potentially bring on additional help where appropriate to get it out sooner. Whether or not you can back us at this time, you can help us a lot by sharing this campaign on social media. We're very excited to get this into your hands, and we can't wait to see what you create.